So, after what seems like years, DICE has finally said something about what they're planning to do with Battlefield 2042. Earlier today, they released a extremely scripted developer update video where they touch on things such as maps, core gameplay, Season 1, future content, and just their overall plans with Battlefield 2042 moving forward. Not gonna lie, most of this is absolute PR bullshit, as usual, but I will cherry pick the good things that are actually worth talking about out of the video, so you don't have to sit here and waste your time. But before we get into that sort of thing, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more. I will be covering Battlefield 2042 and other up-and-coming FPS games, as well as, I believe, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I will give it a shot myself and see what I like. So, the first thing I want to go over is the Great Sandbagging, aka Season 1. That is what Season 1 will be called from now on, the Great Sandbagging. And you might say, Enders, why are you calling Season 1 the Great Sandbagging? Well, they're adding cover to all the maps in Battlefield 2042, and it's basically just all sandbags, so it's the Great Sandbagging. I don't make the rules, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. But in all seriousness, they're planning to add cover on a lot of the maps. They gave a little, before and after shots of a lot of them. Looks like it could be a pretty major improvement. But I think what they forgot is the fact that the maps are just too big and also poorly designed, so adding a bunch of cover won't necessarily make them better. It'll make the areas a little better to play in, but, the flow and all the other things relating to the maps still will not be addressed, because a lot of it has to do with the out-of-bounds zones and just the overall design and the cohesion with the areas. But something to actually take home, they are changing layouts for some of the Conquest maps, and some of them actually do look a lot better, so we'll have to see how those actually play. And a final interesting tidbit on the maps, Ryan MacArthur, one of the main people making the game, the guy with the red beard in the video, and I'm sorry, I wish I had the clip. I tried everything in my power to try to download this YouTube video. I tried YouTube Premium, I tried third-party sites, it would simply not let me download it. But Ryan MacArthur mentioned that the one map that is supposedly coming in Season 1 is, quote, at the level we expect from ourselves as game designers. So when we play this new map coming in Season 1 next month, keep that quote from Ryan MacArthur in the back of your mind when you're playing this, because I have a feeling, and I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, but I have a feeling this map is going to be no different than the other maps. I don't think it's going to play well, just because it has to conform to 128 player compatibility. Ooh, and real quick fun fact, a player in one of the squads in the development video background gameplay that they were showing in this video actually has me blocked on Twitter, and he turns out to be one of the main game mode designers for the game. So I'm glad the developers really take criticism very well. Love to see it. So moving on to the experience and game mode category of this video, Lars Gustafsson actually mentioned that they are, quote, unshackling themselves from 128 players, which that's just a hilarious term in my mind. They completely abandoned it without ever trying to fix it. And he goes on to say that while 128 players is good for some modes, it doesn't play well for a lot of modes. And honestly, why didn't that fucking happen before the game released? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wasn't that observation made before the game released? That's just the question I want to propose. Because it could have been avoided very, very, very easily. Moving on to one of the most contested and hotly debated topics in all of Battlefield 2042, specialists. Now, right off the bat, in the video when they mention specialists, just look at Lars Gustafsson's face. This is the face of a man that is completely done. Look at him. He's tired, worn out, he's heard the word specialist far too many times, and he's looked at way too many Twitter comments absolutely berating them. Now, what they actually say about specialists is completely disconnected from reality, in my opinion. They focus on sort of the immersion aspect of specialists rather than the actual problems that specialists propose in-game, which is the complete and utter unreadability of gameplay, meaning that specialists are not tied to class systems, and say if you're a vehicle player, right? As a vehicle player, you cannot tell what specialist has anti-tank. They all have anti-tank. They could all not have anti-tank. There's no game readability, and that is the main problem with specialists. It's not the fact that they break the immersion. It's not the fact that they're not gritty enough. That is completely irrelevant in comparison to gameplay problems specialists actually present. And this can be fixed in about 30 seconds. I swear to God it can. All you have to do is you have to put Sundance, Pike, and McKay in Assault. You have to put Falcon, Angel, and Medic, Dozer, Irish and Boris in support, and Casper and Rao in recon, and then introduce proper gadget restrictions, and boom, you fix the game. Boom, game readability. I see a Rao, I know he can place a spawn beacon. I see a Dozer, I know he can resupply ammo. I see a Sundance, I know she can have anti-tank. It's actually that simple. But what do I know? The actual problem with Specialist is the fact that Boris doesn't look like he's ready for a GQ photo shoot. Look at the before and after here. Boris actually looks like he's about to be on the cover of World's Sexiest Man. Like, Boris, you gotta chill. I'm gonna act up if you keep looking at me like that, okay? Now, another thing that's gonna make me act up is the fact that they actually said they're going to start cherry-picking legacy weapons from Battlefield Portal, rebalance them, and put them in the base game of 2042, which is actually something I said word for word months ago. It's a very good idea, and they should absolutely do it. If you don't understand what I mean, the Battlefield 3 G3A3 might make it into the base game, but with Battlefield 2042 weapon mechanics, and that is absolutely awesome. In my opinion, it's an absolute waste of content not to just give the weapons to the base game in the first place, and I'm very happy to actually hear that they're going ahead with this. Now, the rest of the dev talk really isn't that interesting. They touch on performance a little bit, and the gist of what they say about that is the performance isn't something they can fix quickly, and basically what that means is the game is not going to perform up to people's standards pretty much ever, so don't expect this game to randomly gain 100 FPS overnight. Lars briefly mentions that they're going to be doing more weekly missions. They're going to keep adding new experiences to Portal that you can play, and basically it just says we're trying to keep people happy. And finally, at the end of the video, MacArthur looks directly into the camera with his baby blue eyes and tells us that basically just wants to let us know that they know the updates they've made is not enough to the game, and he just wants to reassure us that they are still committed to Battlefield 2042 and that they aren't going anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much it that happened in this dev talk. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think anything that they are saying holds any water after the 6-month drought of basically anything with Battlefield 2042? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as I will be posting videos regularly, and I stream every single day on twitch.tv/enders. It was actually my 4-year streaming anniversary today. 4 years straight of live streaming, and I just want to thank everyone that watches the YouTube videos, comes to the streams, and just says hi, you know. These 4 years have been pretty rough considering the games that I've been playing, and hopefully something happens sometime soon that makes it a little easier, because I think sometimes people get the wrong idea when they come in the stream and I'm just absolutely pissed at Battlefield. Well, honestly, that's really the only thing that's been going on for the past 4 years, just playing really low quality Battlefield games, and I think people would be really surprised if something good came along and they came into the stream at that time. So, thank you guys for everything. Really do appreciate you guys, and make sure to let me know what you think about this dev talk in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one.